My version of season 3 of The Walking Dead would have began on September 1 in the year 2011, and obviously my version of The Walking Dead season 3 would have been somewhat different, not totally and completely different, but somewhat. Whereas the very first episode of season 3 of The Walking Dead would not have been taken place 6 to 7 months after the very last episode of the second season of The Walking Dead. And Andrea wouldn't have been left behind, and she would have still been with Rick and his group. And so then she wouldn't have had to been saved by Michonne's character. And in season 3 of The Walking Dead, I wish that Tyrese's character would have showed up a lot sooner and earlier than he actually did with his sister Sasha. And I also definitely wish, or at least in my version, he would have had his daughter Julie, like in the comics. But his daughter Julie wouldn't have had a douchebag asshole piece of shit of a boyfriend, and would have been, if anything, Carl's new girlfriend, and would have been played by Amanda Stenberg. And in also season 3 of The Walking Dead, there would have been probably, if anything, an episode where the governor would have possibly raped Michonne, like in the comics, even though I have not gotten to that part because I don't even have money to even buy that many of the comics, even though I would definitely love to, because the comics are a lot more extreme, severe, and intense in every possible way. So it definitely is a much better and greater story than the TV show was, and of course still is. And Rick would have gotten his hand cut off by the governor either sometime in the third season, or at least the beginning of the fourth season, where the governor would have attacked the prison. And also, Merle Dixon's character would not have died in season 3 of The Walking Dead, even when he pretty much redeemed his character trying to kill the governor, but still able to gun down many of his men, the governor's men, that is. And he would have killed that bitch of a zombie a lot more quietly and silently than he actually did. And he would have hid in the building while the governor and his remaining men would have been looking for him, and snuck out a secret way, quietly and silently, of course, and then sped away in the car back to the prison to warn Rick and his group, of course, about the governor going to obviously attack the prison. And also, and of course, all 16 episodes of the third season would have came out in 2011. And also, Andrea's character would not have died in season 3 either, knowing that in the comics, Andrea's character is alive much longer in the comics. And that's the way I would have definitely loved it to be, and wanted it to be, obviously. And if the very first episode of season 3 of The Walking Dead came out on September 1 of 2011, September 1 to December 31, there is definitely more than enough months to make 16 episodes in that month, in that time span, in that 3-4 month time span, because each episode only takes 7 days to make. And so that's how, and the only things I would have changed about season 3 of The Walking Dead, or how my version would have gone.